Hey everybody, welcome back to SGB. Now we're back to RPG weekends with my pick this time. By the way, I'm Matt.
I'm Johnny.
I'm Elliot.
I'm Greg.
I know what you're thinking of.
What?
Yes, he did say RBG.
RBG, yes.
Yes.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Role-playing
Rest in
games.
peace.
Everybody.
Rest in peace to Queen, by the way. Anyway,
We're gonna play. We're gonna drink some Pepsi.
And then we're going to play some
Yes.
Paper Mario.
sorry about that. I got a little beef fat over the years.
We got some fresh pancake on the pan.
Oh,
I do like band cakes.
pancakes.
Go ahead, Matt.
Anyway, this is Paper Mario 64 for the N64/NSOs. You can now tell by my little green icon up there of Link.
Well, no,
Actually,
they can't because there's a border
yeah,
on
there's
it.
a border over it. So they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Man.
Yeah.
I don't either. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
You're full of That's what you are.
All right,
straight
wait.
I am.
Border's glitching out.
One thing I do like about this, I like that image there, how Cammy's just literally taped onto
She's
it.
taped into it.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite things about Paper Mario early on is that it does, and this is kind of something that I have against the newer games. Is the newer games really lay it on thick over the paper aesthetic.
Yeah.
But the original game, N Thousand Year Door, use it sporadically as a reminder, a sporadic reminder that these characters are made of paper and that you're in a cardboard world. And I think it's funnier when it's used in brevity.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And when it's not the entire gag, because I think it makes the comedic bits more endearing
Wait,
for the first
where-
two games.
I like how none of the 7-star spirits did anything to stop this.
Wait, why are the stars from Mario Party 5 here?
This was their first job before Mario Party 5.
Living in a paper world.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, and I actually prefer the hard paper aesthetic. I prefer when everything is all papery because it sort of makes sense and it sort of doesn't.
At the
Because
same
it kind
time-
of means that the characters and the world are made of flesh.
Well, no, because everything, you can look at it, and even during a time when we were still transitioning from 2D sprites to 3-dimensional polygons, it's assumed that these characters are cardboard. The game is called
Yeah.
Paper Mario.
But the world didn't feel cardboard.
I think I'd argue otherwise. Like we'll get into it as we're
So
playing.
yeah.
All right. So where do we stand in Origami King?
I never played. So
Never touched it.
all right. So let's cover this real
Yeah.
quickly to set the foundation of how much experience we have with Paper Mario from the get. Matt, since you're leading this, you
This
start
and
first.
1,000-Year Door, that's it.
Same. Okay. So personally, I have sampled the first Paper Mario. And I'm not talking about the free demo cutout that they give you in the Nintendo Power, which is
The greatest demo ever.
That's the greatest demo. Yeah.
I did play this game via emulation years ago when I
Okay.
first got into N64 emulation, because around this time I first played Paper Mario, I already played Superstar Saga, the first GBA game.
Okay.
I did not play Super Mario RPG. Fun fact, until the Wii release in 2008-9. I want to say.
What?
Yeah, I
Wow.
Super Mario RPG. I just slept on for years.
I only just recently played it. The
Yeah.
remake.
The
Oh, my
remake.
condolences
So
to
I've
you
not
guys.
played that. But
I haven't finished. Like, I beat the main game. I haven't done the optional boss. Most of the
Yeah, I
optional
did
bosses
all the
yet.
optional stuff.
So I loved
Fuck.
Superstar Saga, but then I know this wasn't the only Mario RPG out there, and that's when you introduced me to 1,000-Year Door.
Yeah.
Because that was the most recent release at the time of that.
Yeah.
And that was for the GameCube. I had a GameCube. I was like, sure, I'll get this game. I fell in love with it. 1,000-Year Door was a
So
phenomenal
good.
time. So I went back to play the original Paper Mario, and I didn't fuck with it as much as 1,000-Year Door because
It's a slower burn.
it's
than
a
maybe-
slower burn. I also there was a part of me that enjoyed how dark 1,000-Year Door was.
Right. This one is more
Yeah.
straightforward, good
Yeah.
versus evil, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
1,000-Year Door ranks for me as one of the perfect sequels where it did everything the original game did, but better. To the
Exactly.
point where when you go back and you play the original one, it's still a great game, but
Yeah.
it does
You
feel like
notice
stuff
you notice it's dated.
Stuff is missing.
Yeah.
Or not just that it's dated. I mean, it's an old game, so it's supposed to be old.
Yeah.
But it feels like things are missing. There were things that you remember, and you think, oh, I'm thinking of 1,000-Year Door. And that's kind of a good thing, but what that means is if you play them out of order, you're going to feel like this game is lacking.
Yeah.
Ironically, I kind of wish I had played, because I just played Mario RPG, the remake of it, and I had never played even the original one before. That's kind of the same problem.
Yeah.
Because Mario RPG does a bunch of stuff poorly, and 64 did it better.
Yeah.
There were a lot of the way they introduced stuff, like stuff just kind of happens in Mario RPG, and this had a better progression. And it's like, ooh, I think I would have been okay with it back then, but having played the better version of it, I see all of the flaws.
Yeah. Well, Mario RPG was just Final Fantasy with Mario characters.
Yes.
Essentially.
All the way from the start to the super boss.
No, because it was an isometric game, and it was a bit
I'm
different.
talking strictly
so-
on how
combat delivered.
how the RPG elements are handled. It is Final Fantasy. It is just Final Fantasy with Mario characters.
Even then, I would say no, because it had the action system where you would get the extra hits when you
Yeah. Well,
attack.
every Final
and
Fantasy-
Final Fantasy never had that. Final
But
Fantasy,
every Final Fantasy has its gimmicks. to be
yeah,
fair.
but
none-
they
none-
were never on an
none on it-
action level. You
Yeah.
didn't platform.
Right.
You didn't have the action combat system.
Yeah.
That's why it really was its own thing.
Yeah.
It was more. It would have been more comparable to a Final Fantasy Tactics.
10-2 would introduce
10-2
that,
right
though.
there.
Yeah.
That's a game I'm looking forward to getting to soon.
My friend Zach has been playing all the Final Fantasies in a different Discord, and we've been having fun like shooting the shit because he loved 10, but he never played 10-2.
I love 10
And he's playing 10-2 for the first time, and he was like, "Oh, what do you think about this?" So I was like, "I don't think much of the story. I think the story is nothing." But if you ask me, it's one of the best fucking active time battle games in the series. The 10-2 is just a fantastic game. I don't think much of the story, but you won't get a Final Fantasy with an HCD system as fun as that one. But anyway, Thousand Year Door I love to death. I did not finish Paper Mario because it just wasn't hitting me the same way in terms of its vibes, in terms of its story. It's still a great game. And I know this game has like a bunch of fans that love it more so than Thousand Year Door because they don't like the dark humor of
Yeah.
Thousand Year Door.
For me, I think
That
it's
sort
just
of
that Paper Mario 64 is a little more simplistic than Thousand Year Door.
but it's also more wholesome. You
Yeah.
could, like, put a word on it.
Well, I'm going to say wholesome. I just say it's more simplistic. Like, you ain't
Yeah.
got to go through 20 bear
Well, I
asses
think
and
it
100
means-
in a 100 floor clip.
I think it means just the tone of the story.
tone of the story.
The tone
There's
of the
that
story
too.
is a bit lighter.
yeah,
Yeah, Paper
It's,
Mario
classic,
Fight Bowser.
it's classic Mario.
Yeah. I'm someone
Don't worry,
who
you're supposed to lose that battle.
I like this. I like 64 over Thousand Year Door, but I will always admit that Thousand Year Door is the better game.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it does everything.
Oh, so
it's just,
you think this game is better?
I like this game better,
Yeah.
but I admit that Thousand Year Door is the better game. It
Okay.
is structurally better. It looks better. The story is told better. The characters are better. Like everything is better. But for some reason, and I think it's maybe just nostalgia and a bit of charm, I find this more charming than. And maybe it is because it is the more pixely graphics. It's a little bit older, so there's something about it. I don't know. It's just a charm to it.
Here's a little SG behind the scenes for you on this one, guys. When I sent them this part, it was just this part here for 15 minutes because my first time recording this, I was on call, and after 15 minutes, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. So,
So-
getting the videos ready for this was kind of a blast from the past in terms of like what's up.
But that right there, I thought that the stuff froze. I thought it was supposed to go to the middle.
Video feed, yeah. So for a little more behind the scenes stuff here as we're watching this because this is post commentary. Matt's already recorded this game.
Yeah.
And the entire thing is like ready
We're literally
ready to-
watching it like you guys are.
Yeah. This is how we handle a lot of
Yeah.
RPGs post commentary. But for this specifically, we're playing the video through our laptop, which is HDMI connected to the TV, so that everybody can see it. But the HDMI refresh rate is like cut in half. It's not even 30 frame. I want to say it's like 20.
Yeah.
And so details get lost.
It looks like the Ultra Hand is on.
Yeah. Or on my screen, on the laptop screen, it looks just fine.
Yeah.
On the TV screen, it may not. It may affect some of your viewing too, and I'm sorry.
No, but they won't see that.
They won't
Yeah,
see that.
they won't
see
see
the-
that.
because
they'll
remember, we still have the actual like.
We have the raw
video
archive
file.
footage, yeah. So they won't see that. But it's just a little funny to see like the game looks like it's running like ass on the TV.
Yeah.
I just took a bunch of pictures and put them up to the camera.
So, Thousand Year Door, love to death. Did not finish Paper Mario originally because it
wait.
just wasn't vibing with me.
Hold on.
What's up?
Is the song start yet?
Which one?
The initial song, which I think is called March Ahead,
Yeah.
that's like music that I hum to myself when I'm walking somewhere.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, I
it-
think I
it
might know
is,
what you're
yeah.
talking about. I
But, yeah.
tried Super Paper Mario on the Wii. I could not play more than 2 hours of it. It was just too much of a radical shift in terms of its gameplay, despite hearing that that game has the best story in the series.
Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does.
but I just couldn't jive with the sudden shifting gameplay. It wasn't turn-based RPG combat anymore. It was real time.
That was a platformer.
Yeah,
That
it was a platform
game.
And because of that, I stopped following the series. I did not play Sticker Star, which, from what I understand, I'm not missing anything from Sticker Star. I did not play
Color Splash.
I did not play Color Splash, and I did not play King of Miami.
Origami King.
Yeah.
What did I
Or
say?
I always catch people because I always call it Paper Mario and the Origami Killer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Scott Shelby.
Yeah. The King of Miami, by the way, is a reference to Paper Mario badly translated as Book of Mario. Thousands of doors. Origami King was translated into King of Miami. and that just stuck with me because I think that's the most hilarious shit.
By the way, now that we begin our first exercise into the world proper here, we now meet friendly Goombas, which has to be kind of a mindfuck considering how many of these people you've killed.
Which
This wasn't
again,
the first game to do that, right?
no, it would have been
Mario RPG had friendly
RPG.
Goombas,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mario
Mario
RPG had the
RPG.
friendly
Yeah.
enemies and stuff.
At Monstro
which-
Town.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
this game was basically Mario RPG 2, which I think that's what it was actually
That
called.
was its conceptual name. It was
Yeah, this was-
originally it was Super Mario RPG 2.
Yeah, and you can tell when you
Yeah.
play Mario RPG, you can really tell because it's got crystal stars that you get. It's got a bunch of the things that are known in this franchise, but they were sort of done poorly. I'll give it to you like this: in Mario RPG, you get a crystal star before the game tells you what they are. You fight a boss and you get a crystal star, and it's not until I think right before the second crystal or somewhere in the middle where they tell you like, oh, this is the story and we need the crystal stars in order to fight the thing. It's like, oh, thank God I already have one.
Thank God I've just been collecting these.
Yeah,
crystal stars
I just
because
found it
I'm
on
a
the ground
kleptomaniac. And I'm a hoarder.
Yeah, and usually every time you play this, I just got to 100% everything. The only thing in this, however, I don't do, jumping way ahead here, is the dojo stuff. I just don't feel a real reward from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, I get the star pieces on the overworld.
But you see, that's the beauty thing about like recording RPGs in post commentary, because you can edit all that out without wasting anyone else's time. I mean, you're wasting your time, obviously, because you're the one recording it.
I don't mind.
but-
This ain't a waste of my time.
But I'm more talking about like that's the joy of like say like at some point or another, whenever we get to Final Fantasy IX and that sort of thing, you know,
You can edit out the
let's
fights.
say like we can. Well, I'm talking more of like the more innocuous side quest sort of thing, like the fucking brothers quest
or the jump rope.
or the jump rope stuff. I could fucking go for it, and all I gotta do is edit to the successful cut, and
Right.
you guys be none the wiser.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sort of thing. That's the thing you can do about that. But in a live setting, it's like, no, fuck it, dude. Let's go past it.
Yeah.
We don't have the time.
Oh, yeah.
We do
That
not
which
have
is
the
going to
time.
be a very viable strategy on the eventual day where I do Final Fantasy XII's Zodiac Age.
I love
Because it's going to be like two parts plot, one part side quest, and 36 parts bullshit.
Zodiac Killer.
Yeah. I love that we can't get past the block, so we have to go and find a hammer.
Yeah.
But he's made of paper, so
Yeah.
he can just this song right here.
Every now,
This song right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a
yeah.
great track, man.
I do immediately think of this song whenever I think of Paper
see, the
Mario.
thing is, though, is that sometimes the paper thing, and this is where, like, 1,000-Year Door shined in comparison. Like, 1,000-Year Door made you turn into paper, which allowed you to get some creative problem solving done. Here, it's like, on paper, I can shimmy through this. Why do I got to find a break block?
I like that though, because like it's
They don't acknowledge it.
it's tongue in cheek.
Yeah, they don't acknowledge it.
It's like, oh, we can't, like, he's locked behind this jail cell. We can't get him through. Whoop, turn
Yeah.
sideways, go right through. It's like, and I love that kind of,
Yeah.
like,
And then-
I love that in Paper Mario, 1,000-Year Door.
And Super did it the other way. Super did it where you could flip the world. And you could turn the world sideways. So you get to the level that looks like the original Super Mario Brothers, and then you can't get so you just flip it around, and now all of a sudden there's a background, and
Yeah.
you could go over the hills and
Yeah.
stuff, and it just had so much charm to it.
And again, I'm speaking as someone who has not played the later Paper Marios. I forgot completely about Paper Jam.
Paper Jam-
that was the Mario.
That was where
the
Mario got stuck.
That was
With-
that was the crossover with Mario Brothers.
Which
RPG.
I have heard, I've gone back and forth, and I've heard that that's basically more of a Mario and Luigi game
That's
with
Mario and
Paper
Luigi,
Mario
Paper Mario thing.
than it is a Paper Mario game with Mario and Luigi.
But I also hear it is the Mario RPG of all time. Like, there's nothing fantastic about it. It is very if there's underwhelming and overwhelming, that is a very whelming
It's
game.
whelming.
It's a
yeah.
very whelming.
It's not
game.
like Sticker Star. Sticker
Yeah.
Star was disappointment.
I'm deathly curious of Sticker Star, but just because of its notoriety.
Yeah, Sticker Star, it just felt like a lot of blah.
Yeah.
For the record, I've played every Paper Mario game. I love these games. This was a day one purchase. Thousand Year Door was like most of them were day one purchases. Sticker Star's problem was it almost felt pointless to play. The story was relatively insignificant, and the way the combat works, because it's using the cards and everything was a resource waste. You actively wanted to avoid most of the game because it was a waste of resources for you to play it.
Right.
Color Splash tried to change it. They gave you this paint mechanic, and they made it so that if you fight levels, you will eventually increase the amount of paint you can hold. But it just kind of felt like I need to hold more paint so that I can do better in the fights and do better in the overworld, or I can just do better in the overworld and not need to worry about it. So there was also a problem having the gamepad. I think the gamepad took away from a lot of the game itself because you were literally looking away from it.
Yeah. Anyway,
That was Junior Trooper, by the way.
I was going to say, who's this guy?
That's Junior Trooper. He becomes your recurring stalker.
Yeah, he's your
stalker.
You just keep sort of battling him over and over again.
Basically, the game is, as I said before, a bit of a slow burn. Mario can't learn about timed hits yet. That I feel once you finally get the timed hits mechanic going, that's when the game starts like pepping off for me. But until then, it feels like a giant tutorial battle over and over again. That's
It's
really
interesting because Mario RPG allows you to do time hits as soon as the first battle, if you knew about it.
Yeah.
And they play a gag with that too, with the Toad, where one of the options was like, "Do you know about timed hits?" And you can say yes, and the Toad was like, "Oh, you better watch out because he knows about timed hits."
This guy knows about timed hits.
You know?
By the by, I'm gonna be straight up forward with you guys. I sleep sometimes on timed hits. Not every. It's like it takes me a bit to rev up, but then I get better at it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like Paper Mario ain't Shin Megami Tensei in terms of difficulty. Yeah. These are, and not to sound like detrimental here, these are baby's first RPGs.
Yeah.
Similar in the vein of Pokemon. You know, you're playing this not so much for the RPG mechanics, but for the vibes also.
Right.
And I think that's what these Paper Mario games excel in. Now, despite what you may be thinking right now, Elliot is here.
Y'all were just going at it. Y'all were just going. I didn't want to interrupt.
I also saw the eye.
Elliot's like, I hate paper.
Elliot was more of a rock guy.
So hold on. Did you just want me to interrupt while y'all were having a conversation?
If you've got something to add,
Elliot's like, this is the easiest fucking paycheck.
I'm sorry. I want to be considerate.
Well, you're the only one that has not chipped in with the Paper Mario
history?
Do you have any history of Paper Mario?
Okay, so wait.
That's nice. Anyway,
I'm gonna kick you in your fucking ass.
You can't even reach my ass.
What's your history?
Stop thinking of the retorts.
I know. If it takes you longer than 2 seconds, you're lost.
So hold on. All right, so hold on. Wait,
what's your history with Paper Mario?
I'm waiting for him to stop laughing.
Why? Just answer the fucking question.
So wait, what number comes before 1?
0.
Okay.
Is that it? You can just say I have not. That was so much setup for you to say that you've never played any of these
I've never
games.
played them.
Because like I've always seen Paper Mario as someone like just seeing it. I've never actually played it.
So you secondhand.
Secondhand, yeah.
Secondhand experience.
Like I've seen you play Paper Mario sometimes when I was younger.
That was Thousand Year Door.
Either one.
Yeah.
Either way, it's still Paper Mario.
Did you play Mario RPG?
RPG, yes.
Do you have any Mario RPG experience?
I played a bit of RPG, but I played Superstar Saga a lot more.
Okay. Have you beaten Superstar Saga?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Hey, you're playing.
Oh, I was playing Horizon at the time that this was going on. Look at that. I made a cameo in the video I'm in.
And back when the Twitch channel was Bound by Games, we did the first Paper Mario and Super Paper Mario.
Yeah, because Sabrina loves Paper Mario.
Yeah, she loves Paper Mario.
Loves this fucking game
because it's awesome. Because Paper Mario is awesome, and even except for Sticker Star, when Paper Mario misses, it still hits pretty well.
So I can only go off of their counterparts in Thousand Year Door, but their archetypes started with this game.
Yeah.
Because He's not Goombella in this. Who's the Goomba in this?
Goombario.
Mario.
And let me tell you, while he tattles, it is not as funny as Goombella.
I love Goombella.
Goombella is an awesome tattler. My personal
Yeah.
favorite was the second
No,
Bowser. She was like, "That's Bowser, genius."
No, my favorite one is Gabagoomba.
Oh,
But yeah. So throughout this adventure, Mario will be recruiting allies in the form
whether
of
he wants to or not.
classic Mario villains, but they're good guys. You know, you got Goombario, you have a Koopa.
You have Cooper.
It's Cooper. Okay.
I like
You have
Twink.
Bo.
Was it
you have
Cooper in
Watt,
this one, right?
Cooper in this.
Sushi.
Wait, then who was the 1,000 Year Door character?
No, is it Coops in this
That's
one?
Coop. No, it's Cooper in this one. Coop's in the
It was
second
Coops
one.
in the other one,
Yeah,
right.
Coops is better because Coops wore a hoodie.
My boy Coops.
Yeah, he also had a defense stat.
Yeah.
I like Twink.
Oh, the little star buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's this one.
Yeah, the star. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I bet. Yeah. I love Luigi.
So at this point here, I said, "It's fucking. Let's take a rest," because I forgot this was made right around the time I think I was on call.
Yeah, so we will be calling it a wrap for this. This is where the part ends. And we will see you guys tomorrow for more Paper Mario Fitness, because Weekend RPGs are back.
Before we wrap things up, though, of course, we have some more Patreon shoutouts to deliver, and I'll be handling the Patreon shoutouts exclusively for this playthrough. So here we go. Nakagami Penguin, Alan Knight, Autobot ODST, Dirty Curdy, Serial Chiller, DeLong Schlong, Spy the Cuttlefish, Boosted D-Drag, Blank Screen TV, A Purple Dragon, Average Joe, and finally for today, Wolfang. All this and more on tomorrow's part of Paper Mario. Have a good night, everybody, and take care of yourself.